I'll share a recent experience. And this really helped me see where I was and how I went down very quickly, just within a 24-hour period, through the influence of somebody else. And so I think it was Monday last week, or the week before, Monday night, Beth and I usually have Monday night with no tech, but I was called to watch The Shift by Wayne Dyer, this movie, The Shift. And with what's been happening, I was like, The Shift, I feel I need to watch that. I've watched it probably over 100 times. And anyway, so I put it on, and, Beth falls asleep through any movie anyway, but she fell asleep pretty quick. And I just found myself so present, and the messages really resonating deep inside of me. Well, the following morning I woke up, and it was, my alarm went off at something like 4:40 a.m. because I was getting on a mastermind at 5 a.m. And I fell back to sleep, and I woke up at 5:02, and I quickly jumped up, turned my phone off airplane mode, and checked in the chat. And it's a leadership call, and I checked in the chat if the call was going to take place, because sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, there was all this communication, and one of the leaders decided to absolutely berate me in the group whilst I'm asleep. And this person has countlessly created chaos, has never actually added any value, and still to this day, I don't know why that person was ever in the leadership group, of the round table group. So, and it's not my group, so it's out of my control. But 3 people in that group left the group through the communication of this person. So I wake up and I'm reading this 5 minutes before I'm to get on this call, and I just breathed, and then jumped on the call, and straight away it was this person, however, did not show up on the call. Happy to shout from afar, but not willing to get into the gladiator pit. So we actually had a 2-hour conversation all around what was going on, and and why I was being viewed as the way I was. And I ended up messaging this person and said, and I came from a super high level, like that in that self-transcendent space. And I communicated, and even though everything that he had expressed was anger and apathy right down in level 1, level 2, probably just level 1, even if we can go to 0, it was there. I still found a way to communicate effectively of, hey, your curiosity as to what this is happening here. I don't believe that I could have been able to communicate and receive it that way if I hadn't been in that energetic space the night before with Wayne, and hearing that and just helping me go through that, because there was a lot happening. So I had chosen to step up to that space. So let's just say it was at level 5, level 6. So I'm in peace. And then the next day I wake up. So this person had seen the message and was still wide awake. It was still daytime for them when they got mine. But the next day through the night, they had messaged me and just given me more. And in that moment, I went, I am not putting up with this. This person needs to be told. So I literally just, like the lion roared, so to speak. And I let this person have it in regards to, there's a reason why you have been removed from the leadership group and I haven't. And yet you're saying that I'm not showing up like in alignment with what we're doing. 3 people left the group through your communication. All you've done is point the finger and shout a lot of accusations, and I've asked you for proof and you've provided none, and you keep making these accusations. You're only willing to communicate via text. So don't you think, and this was my language, don't you think it's about time as a man you grew a pair of balls, got on a conversation, got on a call with me, and we had a conversation so you can find the truth instead of just shouting and calling names and so on. And if you're not willing to provide the names and the proof, as if we're in a court of law, as to what everything to back up what you're saying, stop wasting your time and stop wasting my time. And lo and behold, I've not heard a thing. So I went down to this anger energy. There was so much frustration. And from being in a space, the 24 hours before, from being in a space of so calm and I didn't let it affect me through the rest of the day, to then 24 hours later, anger and it consuming me through creating, the energetic self-perception chart was there, but through creating it to be able to explain it through the process, it was really interesting to watch how I went woof through somebody else, through letting somebody else, like giving away my own power, my own peace, my own level of vibration. I allowed that to happen, but it also allowed me to be present in that and say, is this where I want to be? And I had a conversation with Corey and a few other people that week, but in particular, I had one with Corey, and Corey said to me about, and it's funny what you said earlier, mate, because this came up for me. What is it that you can control? If you can't control it, you can't, don't let it affect you. I couldn't control the way this person was choosing to communicate and show up, yet I was letting it affect me. And not only was it affecting me with the time that I had with him, it was affecting me with everything else I was doing, because then I couldn't be present with the things that mattered to me that I could control. I was only present in that anger and frustration and pain. And I realized that I have to cut the cord. I know it's quite aggressive, but I had to cut the cord to be able to get myself back out of that level 2. And since then, and it's really interesting because since then, the communication I've had with people who are more involved, and it's actually the true relationship is only with me and these people. All I've had from them is compassion, peace, like the opportunity. Like they're fully supportive of me and where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I've allowed that the opinions of others who aren't and are coming from their own perception instead of the truth, I've allowed them to control me. So they're not controlling me themselves. I've allowed them. I've got to take ownership for this. So then, like last week, we spoke about ownership or responsibility and accountability. Since then, when I chose to take ownership for it, I was then be able to be accountable and create this measurable thing to move forward. So it's been that's been something that's been like of late over the last week or two that really helped me understand the catabolic and anabolic energies, and to appreciate once again that they work together. They're giving me lessons all the time, and it's just a case of finding it and finding gratitude in both. Because this person who's in that space, in that community, when we discussed it on the call, it's like this person's never actually added value. And what's interesting about this person is actually an IPEC coach. So everything that I showed you today around that NX self-perception is certified in that space to teach that, yet has shown up in this community space all the time, and especially what we've seen from the leadership level, is creating catabolic energy.